In this video, I'm going to show you some great new products from Cultivate What Matters for menu planning and cleaning. Hi, I'm Kristen and I post functional planning videos on my channel. If you're like me and you need a gentle reminder to just keep it simple, please make sure you're subscribed and I'll be right back. Cultivate What Matters is coming out with a new little mini product launch on July 29th, and these are some of the items that I selected to show you ahead of that launch. So the theme of the new products is kind of like a family organization, and I chose the ones for meal planning, and this is a cleaning schedule, and this goes with the meal planner. So, but there's also a morning routine sticker book that's geared towards families, and there's also like a chore chart notepad and some encouragement cards and just some stuff to kind of refresh your family routines and just kind of like give you a boost halfway through the year for getting like your stuff together and just kind of feeling like you did maybe at the beginning of the year when you were pumped to get organized and everything. I think these are some great products for that. So let's start with the notepads real quick. So I have here a grocery list notepad and a cleaning schedule. Each of these notepads is going to be $15 and they both have 50 pages. These are the same size as like the medium notepads from Cultivate What Matters. If you're familiar with those, they're 8.5 tall by 5.5 wide. So let's start here with the cleaning schedule, and let's just kind of get this plastic off. On the back here, this is neat because it's got like a little paper that says make this notepad your own. It's like a little mini encouragement sheet to explain kind of how to use this, and it says name what matters, start fresh each week, track a monthly project, assign weekly tasks, and cultivate daily habits. Maybe if you have some goals associated with your home and your cleaning routines, I think this would be like a really great supplement for that. So you don't have to kind of like lug your power sheets all over the house. You could tear it off and just kind of put it on the fridge or clip it to your Padfolio or something. So up at the top it says cleaning schedule, and then you have a space to write the date or the week. And then here you have the monthly project. So this would go along with your power sheets or whatever goal setting system you're using. And just like those monthly home related projects. Of course, you could use this for anything, but since it's cleaning, I kind of think of it as like a home project. So like if you're working on, for example, we just redecorated our dining room and we painted our front door. We did a lot of little things, those kinds of like bigger projects that are just like a one-off thing. This would be a great spot for that. And what's neat is there's like a little progress bar here. So you would write like redecorate the dining room, and then the first week of the month you might have a little bit of progress, and then every week as you remake your list you're gonna see that progress bar fill up, and it's just really encouraging and it just gets you to want to keep going. Now you have your weekly tasks, your weekly cleaning tasks, and I think this could work really well with those cleaning routine systems that you might already be using or familiar with, such as a Clean Mama or Fly Lady. You would just write down each one for each day of the week, and it also makes it simple to customize those cleaning systems. So I don't remember exactly which day everything falls for those systems, but say, you know, Monday is bathroom day or something for Clean Mama, but maybe it works better for you to do that on Wednesday. So you're able to just write that in on the day that makes more sense to you so that it can get done. And then you have your little circle over here that you can check it off when it gets done. And then that is also a way to just kind of help you feel better about it. If maybe Tuesday has passed and you didn't get to the thing that you had intended to work on Tuesday, you can still see that it's there, and later in the week when you have a little pocket of time, you can just scan and see what you haven't checked off yet and just go work on it, and it's still getting done that week, and you don't have to kind of have that guilt that you missed a day. Down here you have a daily habits section, and there's enough room for 6 habits, and then of course you have your Monday through Sunday little dots here to check off when you do them. Because this is a cleaning schedule, I think this would be perfect for those things like emptying the dishwasher, making the beds, checking your floors, wiping off your counters after dinner, you know, that kind of thing, those daily things that need to get done, like with Fly Lady, for example, you would have like the swish and swipe and the drying out your sink, cleaning, shining your sink, that's what they call it, shining your sink. So that would be a really great spot to write these things. Here there's some examples like doing a load of laundry, wiping the counters. Choose a few small habits to complete each day. And make sure you're reading this because there is some great encouragement here. For example, here it says, remember, not every day needs to have an assignment. So if there's a blank day or two on your weekly tasks, that's okay. Don't fill it in just to fill in the blank space. Give yourself a break, you know? And then the same here with the daily habits. It just says choose a few small habits. So even though there's room for 6, you don't have to fill it up to 6. So anyhow, I'm really excited to get to use this, especially because it's pretty. That is important to me. I am a functional planner, but I love seeing pretty stuff. And I love florals. And so it's hard for me to decorate because in my brain, it's like, what's the point of doing that? Like that's not adding any kind of function, but it is important. And it is a good reminder that we are important, and the things that make us feel good, like a pretty notepad, is important. And it does make us want to do the things. And so it's nice that it's already decorated, because I can guarantee you that if this was plain, I would not decorate it, but I appreciate how pretty it is. So I'm excited to kind of get to use this and just see how this reinvigorates my cleaning routines. And I already have a little bit of a system where if you watch my plan with me's, I use a little sticky note that is, you know, I print it out and I keep it for the whole month and I check things off, and that fits in my planner really nicely. But something like this just kind of gives me that extra boost to want to do the cleaning. And you know, it's a notepad, it's not dated, so I don't have to use it every week if I don't need it, but it is gonna give me that like it's fun, I want to use it, you know? Okay, so this is the cleaning schedule notepad, and then this one is the grocery shopping list notepad. All right, so this is the grocery list notepad, and this is going to work really well with the meal planner, but let's just kind of go over it real quick. It does have that gorgeous floral, and that's just something that Cultivate What Matters does so well. They do their florals so well, and they're just so pretty. They're just feminine enough, and they're not like cartoony. It's just my vibe, and I love it. So here we've got a spot for produce and deli, meat and fish, baking, pet and household, frozen, canned goods and pasta, beverages, international, dairy, chips and crackers and snacks, toiletries, and then a spot for everything else. And it's just your basic simple grocery list. I'm someone that orders groceries online, and so I don't always have a written list, because by the time I sit down to order my groceries, I'm just like looking at what I had decided to cook that week, and then I'm just adding things to my cart on walmart.com. I think something like this, just kind of clipped to my refrigerator, might be useful for just kind of adding in the things that I'm running out of, or just things that we come up with that we just decide we want and my son can add to it easily. I just think having a little pre-made grocery list can come in handy, especially if it's this pretty and it matches this meal planning journal. Now this is like the most fun thing that I wanted to show you. So this is the meal planner. It is $24. It's a 6x9 hardcover, like linen notebook. If you are familiar with the Fresh Start daily planner or the 90-day power sheets that are bound this way, it's the same construction. It's 52 weeks, it's undated, but it's got like weekly menu planning pages. There's 140 pages, it's 120 GSM paper, and it's 6x9. So I just left this little thing on here, but it does come like wrapped, like shrink wrapped such, like this, like the notepads were. On the back here, you've got the gold foiled Cultivate What Matters logo. On the front, you have like the crossed silverware, the fork and spoon, and it says meal planning journal. When you open it up, you have this really cute, like kitchen-y, like recipe motif. It's just kind of like that gingham style. This color is my favorite color, so I already love it. And then you've got the little crossed spoons and forks. It kind of reminds me of like an old school, like vintage tablecloth. Super cute. Meal planning journal, and then from the kitchen of, and then you can add your name. And here we have like the Cultivate What Matters like mission statement. And then what is really cool about this is that it's got like I want to say prep work. It's got like everything I love about the Cultivate What Matters stuff, like they always have in their workbooks and in their goal planner. There's just some prep work that you do at the beginning so that you can really learn what is important to you for the process of doing, the rest of it, and planning what's important to you as far as meal planning for your family or for yourself or whoever you're cooking for. And so here it says meals matter, and then there's just some great encouraging words here, and then it says uncover what matters. First, you'll uncover a big picture vision for your life at the table through a series of simple and fun guided questions. That's what I love so much about the Cultivate What Matters stuff. It's just the guided questions, the prompts, really, it's just, I've said it over and over again. I just love it. Break it down. Then we'll walk through some of our best tips for meal planning and meal prep. You'll brainstorm lists of go-to meals and feel equipped with rhythms to get food on the table in a life-giving way. Step 3, live it out. Finally, you'll use your monthly and weekly pages to plan, shop, and prep with ease. Whether you're new to meal planning, this is really going to kind of teach you and give you a lot of learning on how to do it so it's not so overwhelming, or if you're old hat at meal planning like I am, this is going to really invigorate that process for you and just kind of give you a boost. I go in phases with it, even though I feel like I don't want to say an expert, but for my family, I am good at meal planning and I don't feel like I need help. If there's anything I learned about using these guided journals from Cultivate, that it does help. I can always use help. There's always room for improvement, and there's always new tips that I just didn't know yet, and just different ways of thinking about things that I just wasn't familiar with, that something like this is really gonna reinvigorate that process for me and just kind of get me fired up again about meal planning. And this fits into my goals. I don't have my power sheet sitting here next to where I'm filming, but on my annual goals, I have that to menu plan and meal prep every week, and to just take nutrition seriously. I do have some dietary restrictions. So does my husband. We suspect our son has a combination of both of our issues, unfortunately. And so menu planning and eating the right foods to fuel our bodies is really important to us. And so this fits in with, it's a support system for that goal that I set for myself at the beginning of the year. So anyway, let's keep going. We've got a dot grid page for taking notes, and this beautiful floral page that says uncover what matters. This is like your chapter cover, I guess. And then you have all of your prep work. So there's a lot of pages here, and don't feel overwhelmed with this. It's really simple stuff. It's just, there's a lot of teaching in here, and it's really going to help guide you and make everything else simple for, the rest. And you're worth it. Your family is worth it. You're worth that time and that investment in yourself and your health to do this. And so we've got like 2 here, 4 pages, 6, 8, 10 pages of like prep work to kind of guide you into what meal planning is going to look like for you and your family. And it's just things about like doing just like the basic brainstorming and just kind of breaking it down. That's what's really great, is that you start with like the big picture, and then each set of pages of prep work helps dial in and get down to those really important things. And then there's prompts. So if you can't think of something, you've got like lists of examples to answer the questions, and every question that you journal the answer for, we're gonna like kind of dial into that until you get through each section. And then you have your mealtime manifesto, which is so much fun because this is kind of like the Mad Libs page in the Power Sheets prep work. That is so much fun, where you fill in the blanks about what's important to you and your family about meals, and it just kind of helps just put it all into perspective of how you want to get meals on the table for your family. And then you're gonna go into the break it down section. You've got another dot grid page here, and it says choose your rhythm so that you can live out what matters at the table each meal, each day, and each week. And it's still got that beautiful floral motif. And there's a little bit more prep work here that you're gonna take everything that you learned about yourself that you journaled here, and then you're gonna break that down into just the things that you need to do each week. And that's where I feel like a lot of people have trouble, is like, okay, I need to eat a certain way to reach whatever nutrition goal I have or health goal that I have, but then how do I actually make that happen each week? It's easy to have like a list of foods that you want to incorporate or foods that you want to avoid or techniques you want to try. It's really easy to make that list, but then when you get down to actually living it out each week, it can get overwhelming, and then it's like, wait, how do I actually make that happen? And then this is going to kind of help you figure out what you need to do and how you need to prep to make sure those things happen, and make sure that you can live out your truth about what you need to do for menus and meals. So we've got a bunch of tips here. It's 10 tips. So you've got, tip 1, 2, 3, and then you've got a few pages of tips and then some dot grid space over on the sides for you to take notes, or, if something really sticks out for you, or if you have questions about something, you can just kind of write it right next to that so that you can go back and refer to those things easily. There's a really cute little floral motif down here at the bottom that I love. And then over here, after your 10 tips, you're going to define your rhythms. It says, let's bring together everything you've uncovered and break it down into a meal planning rhythm. Rhythms and routines are a big part of the Cultivate What Matters goal setting system. It's because everything you do every day really does affect, it all adds up at the end of the year to, do you feel successful with that goal that you set for yourself? And this one has to do with, your meals. And so you do need to have a rhythm for that. I have a rhythm for that that's kind of all over the place right now. So I'm really excited to dig into this and just kind of redefine that and think about what didn't work in the past and what is working, and kind of put that back together into a new rhythm for myself. And then we have our go-to meals, and there's a lot of pages. So you have 11 pages of go-to meals, and then you have an ideas list here. So each page here has go-to meals for, and then you can kind of pick one of these ideas. So breakfast, go-to meals for breakfast. And here's all the things that, your family likes, works for your nutrition goals or your health goals. It works for maybe your financial goals. I know groceries are super expensive right now. So, we've got inexpensive, right? So maybe there's those weeks that you're just putting a lot extra into your savings, or something big came up that you weren't expecting. And you can kind of make some room for that with your grocery budget, maybe, so you have your list of meals ready to go for those times when that happens. So you're not kind of stuck in the lurch, right? Meals for one, grilling, party pleasers. There's so many ideas here. And you can just scan this list, find something that makes sense to you, and then you can kind of just, write it at the top and fill in those ideas for your menu that you can refer back to later when you're meal planning. Here, after your 11 pages of go-to meals, we have food preferences. And so this is for, everyone that you're cooking for. You can kind of keep track of what they can and can't eat, what they really like or what they don't like, so that you can have a good reference for that as you're planning your menu. So for me, I can't eat gluten and I can't eat almonds, and then my husband can't eat dairy. So there's some things that I would list there, but also it's not all just restrictions. You can put Kristen likes pasta. So even though I'm gluten-free, I like gluten-free pasta. My son likes anything in a taco form, stuff like that. You can just kind of add those things in and just have another reference so that you can make sure you're finding things that not only everyone at your table can eat, but also things that they're really going to like and enjoy. So you have 2 pages of those. Here's the section. You've got another dot grid, and this is your live it out, and this is your weekly meal planning rhythm. So here we have all of these pages. Here, let me find the end of it. because these pages are numbered, so I actually don't have to count pages. I can just look at the page numbers. So we have 52 weeks of menu planning, and it's just a very simple menu planner. So you have 2 weeks per page, so there's 4 weeks across here, and it's just a Monday through Sunday, and you can use this to either write out just your dinners, or you could even list out breakfast, lunch, and dinner here, and just use it how it makes sense for you. I tend to only plan dinner, but lately I've been trying to plan lunches for myself, and so that I'm actually making sure I'm prepping enough food that I can eat during the week while I'm here at home. And breakfasts for my son, because I do cook breakfast for him every morning, and it's just easy to just make sure I have that. But so I'm trying to incorporate more of the breakfast and lunch into my menu planning, and not just dinner. So I think I might do breakfast, lunch, and dinner in here. And I might even just use highlighters instead of noting which one is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I might make a little key maybe over here to say which color is which meal, so that I can save that space and just do, like, you know, a pink, purple, blue or something, and then all the pinks are breakfast. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how I end up using it. I'll end up making another video where I'm actually using this thing. For now, I just really wanted to go through it with you before I start playing with it and writing all over it. So then we have our 52 weeks of those. And when we get to that section here, this section kind of breaks up, and it says, it's just got like another pretty little motif, floral motif, and a quote that says, "We can't do it all and do it well, but we can choose to cultivate what matters." I really love that quote, because I always try to do it all and do it all well, and then I get frustrated when I don't do it well. And then it's like, well, maybe I need to prioritize and pick the things that matter the most to put more of my energy into. So here we have household staples. Jot down items here that you purchase week in, week out, so that you can easily add them to each grocery list. So for my family, this is going to be like eggs, butter, milk, tortillas, tortilla chips, rice. Actually, I don't buy rice every week because I try to buy it in bulk, but the things that we're using every week. This is just your basic recipe page. You write the name of the recipe up here, where you sourced it from, how many servings, and the cook time, the course and the prep time, your ingredients list here. If you choose to, note down the nutrition information, you've got a spot already set out for that, which is really cool, because it says calories, carbs, protein, fat, saturated fat, cholesterol, sodium, fiber, and sugar. So these are like the main big things that we're tracking if we're tracking our nutrition. You've got all your main macros, and then some of the other components of those. And then, so that's just really nice, because you don't have to, make that list. It's already there for you. I don't often see that on other recipe cards and in other recipe journals. So I think that's like a really, if the nutrition information is important to you on a recipe, I think this is pretty mega. So here, then you just have a spot for your directions. So from page 70 to page 121, that's 51 recipes. Because there's one recipe per page, you've got room for 51 recipes, and I think that's pretty great too. Now you can turn the page after that. You've got a handy measurements and conversions page, and then you have freezer inventory and pantry inventory. So what's neat about this page is that they actually suggest taking this out of your book. So it's not perforated, but you could just tear it and then slice off the section here with the holes, just to make it nice and neat. And it says to just laminate it, and then you can put this on your refrigerator or your freezer so that you can easily track the quantities. So you could use a Sharpie and then just wipe that off with rubbing alcohol. A lot of people like to use hand sanitizer, because that's basically just gelled rubbing alcohol. Or you could use a wet erase marker and just wipe it off with water. The way I would use it is I would write like the increments I normally purchase, or I normally package meat in, which is like either 1 pound or half a pound, 1 pound of chicken breast. And then each one of these circles would represent 1 pound. And so then you could use a dry erase marker even on here, and just check off how many you have. And then as you use them, you would just erase that mark, so that you only have 2 left instead of 4, right? And then you have plenty of space here for your freezer. The same with your pantry. This might be like servings of rice or servings of pasta or cans of diced tomatoes or cans of beans or, you know, cans of tuna or whatever it is that you typically keep on hand. Then you have a lot of pages for notes here. This is another spot that you could just kind of do an index for your recipes. You could just kind of keep like a little running list of the most used recipes and which page number they're on. And then you have, there's 3, 5, 7 line notes pages, and then 2, 4, 6, 8 dot grid pages, and then you're at the end and it says you did it. Rustle up another season of joyful meals with your next meal planning journal. And then you've got your cute little gingham, like vintage tablecloth motif over here on the back cover, and we are done with the book. Now, also, we've got an option to purchase these tabs. Now, this is $10, and these tabs go with each section of the journal. They match the floral motifs in the book, so it's super pretty. And then, of course, your grocery list matches as well. And so let's look at these and see how they work. So we've got, this is just a backer board. We've got so many tabs here. Wow, and then there's some blank ones. So even if you're not using all of these, you've got blank ones that you can use in other books even. So there's 3 sheets. So these are all the same, it looks like. So if you could purchase this $10 set one time and get at least 3 years out of this. I didn't realize there were so many sheets in here, but we've got 3 of the sheets that have each printed section, and it's printed in gold foil, which is really nice, and it matches all of these sections here. And then you have 3 full sheets of unprinted ones, and so and they're like a thick kind of material. They're very similar to the if you're familiar with the Cultivate What Matters sticker books. I have an older one here, but these stickers, it's the same. So it's like, it's not paper. It's paper, but it's not like thin paper like your planner stickers might be. So you have a tab for each section in here. You've got a tab for the manifesto page. You've got a tab for your go-to meals. We have a tab for all of the weekly plans. And we have a tab for that section of staples at the end of the weekly plans. We have a tab for the recipe section, a tab for the conversions and the inventory if you're not going to tear this out and put it on your refrigerator. And then you have a tab for the notes section. And then of course you have the blank tabs that if there's like one menu, or you know, you could write actually the name of the recipe that you're always flipping to and just kind of like tab that as well. So these tabs are super handy. I think anything that's going to make this easier to use so that you can stick with your goals is worth it. And but if you don't need that, or if you have some you know, the snap-in bookmarks that Cultivate What Matters has, or even just the little mini magnetic bookmarks, those would also work really well in here. So then, you know, whenever you are writing out your menu for the week, you're consulting your recipes for the ingredients, and then you can go ahead and fill out what you need on this list that's already made for you. And it's going to work out really well. And then another thing I wanted to mention is that Cultivate What Matters already had a menu planning notepad, and I had that. And I have it right here. So this is another option for you, and I just kind of wanted to show you the difference just in case you were wondering. So this is like the large notepad. So you can see how big that is compared to these notepads. And this one has a spot for your 7 days of the week and snacks. And then it has a perforated shopping list over here that's divided into 5 sections that you can label however you want. So that is another option for meal planning that is available. And I use this every now and then. I do like to change up how I do it because I am I do like things just to keep it fresh so that I'm interested in doing it. Sometimes things, once they start to get to be like monotonous, I kind of lose interest and then I stop. And so having different options is really helpful for just the way my brain works. And that's why I'm so excited to try these out, and the cleaning schedule, because that is something I'm trying to reinvigorate this second half of the year, just to stay fresh with my goals. So before I close out the video, I wanted to let you know that I am a Cultivate What Matters affiliate. I did purchase these items with my own money. As an affiliate, I was able to get early access to these to make a video for you, but I did purchase them. I chose what I wanted and purchased them with my own money with the same discount that I can offer to you, which is my coupon code Kristen Kramer. And if you use my link in the description, that will automatically apply the code. But if for some reason it doesn't, you can type in my code and just mind the spelling, because both my first name and last name are spelled a little bit weird. So anyhow, I just want to thank Tori and the team at Cultivate What Matters for giving me the access to purchase these. Also, if you're in Gold School Premium, you have access to these. They don't launch for the general public until July 29th, but if you're a Gold School Premium member, they're available to you right now. So just make sure you're signed into your account on the site and you should have access to these. I will link them in the description below. You can see them, even if you're not a Gold School Premium member, you should be able to see them, just kind of look at them on the website. And then on July 29th, you can place your order. I'm excited to hear what you think you'll be picking up from this little mini launch. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll try to get them answered before Monday morning. And that is going to be it for me for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.